And we're back, I hope. All right, okay, so we had just done the pillar, we need to do the roof and floor, and we're going to do a tri-axial grading away from the position of the pillar. So the ratio we use is geometric ratio. Um, so I have some piece of code here which I've used a number of times. R is the ratio you're going to use. So, well, let's set these up so long. I'm going to say X ratio equals 1 point. Let's make it 1.1. That's probably a bit much, but we'll see when we do it. Y ratio equals 1.1, and Z ratio is also 1.1. Why not? Okay. Um, so here, so R is then, I'm going to go with X first. The length over which we are doing this is X max model minus X0, which of course is just X max model. X start is the zone size initially, so I'm just going to have that as zone size. Zone size times R. Okay, I don't think that part is necessary. We'll come back to that. We'll see what we come up with. All right, now here's the little piece of maths involved. When you do have a ratio like that, the number of zones within that zone, of course, is determined by this expression, which is the ln of, well, you can see what it is there. I'm not going to repeat it for you. Over the ln, blah, blah, blah. So the number of zones in Y, yeah, and number of zones in Y graded is going to be N. I think it's increasing. No, we'll have one decreasing. Yeah, okay. Explain now what I'm on about, and I'm not going to write a routine or anything fancy like that. I'm just going to reuse the same piece of code 3 times, and I'm going to go yrat y max model minus y naught. Initial one is, and then nzx graded is the output of that, and same again for z. So the length here is going to be, let me just work it out. It's going to be, it's going to be RH and RO and FH. So, those might be different actually. So let me, roof height. Yes, and in this case I'm going to multiply by the ratio because I want the first row, vertically speaking, to be bigger than the rows within the pillar itself, the size of the row in the pillar itself. Okay. Oh, X start, is that right? X start, ignore the X there. That could be anything. It's just the name of the variable in this case. And it's number of zones in Z graded for the roof. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same again. Now, back to our sketch, you'll see this S1, S2, S3. That's where the ratios apply. Is that correct? I had a better picture of this at some point. You can adjust the ratios, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it'll be along the axis of S1, S2, S3, but positive upwards basically. So for the roof, it's fine. I can do it as it is there. But for the floor, I'm going to have to invert the ratio. I'll show you what I mean when I actually get there. So this is floor height, zone size times, oh sorry, that's the wrong variable. will be times R, which is the ratio. Okay, NZZ GF equals N, and rat Z rat floor, I'll just put an F at the end, equals 1 over Z rat. Because it's going to be graded in the opposite direction, from top to bottom rather than bottom to top. Yeah, that's what that was, yeah. Okay, I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to work. Let's just neaten everything up there. I'll just copy this as it was. In this case though, okay, NZX GF, oh yeah, NZX graded. Oof, looks like I got a bit mixed up here. NZX graded there, NZY graded there. Because everything is the same right now, it wouldn't have made any difference. It's one of those many silent failures that you'll find as you go along. Okay, so NZX graded, NZY graded, NZZ graded roof. Let's do the roof block first. Yes, ratio is then X rat, Y rat, Z rat, Z rat. Yeah, I'll just leave it at Z rat. Make one for the floor. Okay. All right, and the positions are for the roof is going to be, let me check my sketch again. So the starting point is basically x0, y0, and zr. Zr, that's our first point, according to this thing. Then point 1 is over here, so it's at x extended, which will actually be x max model y naught z roof point 2 is 0 y max model z roof, and the third point is back at x 0 0 z max model. Okay. I see I actually changed these here just to make things more compact. Doesn't matter, I'm not obligated to use those for any reason. Group, and again I can either specify it here or I can say, okay, what I'm going to do is say roof group, I'm going to spell it correctly too, roof group equals roof, bollocks, floor group equals floor. Alright. Okay, now we create the same thing in the floor, this time with a few differences. NZZGF for the floor, ratio X rat Y rat, and Z rat F, which is reversed, of course. So our points are going to be different now, since we've turned this thing upside down, basically. Now P naught is basically X naught, Z naught, and according to the sketch, it's going to be ZF. ZF. Ah, or which way are we going to do this? If we're doing it in reverse, no. Ah, let's see. Let's see how it works out, actually. I'm a bit confused myself as to how it's going to work out. All right, well, yes, I'm thoroughly confused now. Let's see how it looks. I just want to make sure I didn't spell anything wrong. Yeah, YMX model. Okay. All right, and we can actually run this as it stands. What did I call it? PyLEG. We know we're in the right folder, so I just go call, and you need to use quotes. PyLEG.dat. And let's see what it does. It looks to me like it's fallen over. I've still got def there, which means it's waiting for an end command. End. Okay, I don't know what it's doing. Command. Ah. I'm sure somebody's seen what's wrong. I did not end my command, so it's just rolling on, waiting for that end command, and it's never going to get there. Okay, how do I get out of this? Good question. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's stuck basically. In this particular case, yeah, I'm not actually sure how to escape this if you create a situation like this. Projects, you see, I can't actually access anything. Can I stop it running there? Let's go to the console. Stop, stop, stop. Console. Yeah, so I'm going to shut it down. Well, it's got the presence of mind to know that, but alright, so I'm going to run it again. Okay, okay. Ah, NZXG falls out of range. Acceptable range. So let's see what it got to. I'm just going to, yeah, this is how we use the interface. You see I've got that automatically generated plot file. I can just go, it also shows us the model, which can be quite useful or might not be useful depending on the circumstances. And we have to take a short break. Carrying on. Yeah, so we have generated the first block successfully. Hooray. Let's see what went wrong. The error message given was parameter 5 NZXG falls outside of allowed range. NZXG. Okay, so let's see. Xrat is defined. X max model minus X naught should be fine. X dot is zone size. Is zone size defined? I'm not sure I actually set that. Oh, I set it later. Ah, there we go. Anything, so Flak 3D, oops, excuse me. Flak 3D has this bizarre notion, or this bizarre convention by which it allows you to use variables that haven't been set. It's a very, very bad practice, and it leads to things like this. Basically, this thing tried to work with a zone size of 0. If it's not defined before it gets to that point in the execution, it uses 0 and buggers everything up, unsurprisingly. So we didn't actually learn anything from that run. I'm going to run it again. Primitive block point order error. Not sure which block is the problem now. Ah, but it looks like we successfully generated that block. Very nice. So the roof worked fine. The floor, as I said, I had some confusion around how exactly it was going to work. And sure enough, I got it wrong. Let's see what it exactly the order of the thing. So basically we have to take this shape and kind of rotate it around in our head. Oh, and this is crashed too because it's a previous instance. Yeah, that's not this one it's talking about. It's a previous instance of Flax 3D that fell over. So yeah, anyway. Okay, now, how did I get to that information? Again, you see the workflow is very complicated. Flex 3D modeling, no. Elements, zone, commands, zone create, and then you click on the block. There we go. Okay, and then you zoom out so you can actually see the thing. All right, so if I'm now got this thing, and so P2. Yeah, I can do it as I did it before, but I just have to reorder the blocks now. Okay, this is going to take a bit of thought. So if I start here, let me just check. X not 9 or third F. Okay, I'm just going to take a break.